as you can tell, my videos are all recorded on the same day. And where I normally film, which is the other side of my room, my cat has taken up the floor on his bed, so I've moved over to this side. So the next pile I'm going to be doing is an unhaul, because I have listed these ones for sale. I have read them all, but I didn't enjoy them enough to have them in my book collection type of storage thing, because I don't have a bookcase. I store them in my step nanny's kind of unit thing that she gave me. Yeah, so because of that I don't have a lot of room, so I kind of keep the books that I cherish and love the most, and ones that I know that I would go back to again at a later date. So I have four, no I don't, I have 5 books in total that I'm going to be unhauling. These are already listed. I haven't had any messages or anything about them so far. So the first one is Unknown Me by Tahara Mafi. Apologies if I'm saying it wrong because of the learning disability. But this is about Juliet, who was dating Adam, and then fell in love with Warner, the one who kidnapped her and tortured her. And they're now all working together to try and save Sector 45. The rest of the series I borrowed from the library, so I don't own the copies, but I just bought the novellas from Waterstones to read them. So because I don't own the rest of the series and it doesn't make sense without them, so I'm selling this one. And I did read it really quickly, and this is the novellas of Destroy Me and Fracture Me. So I think these are from the points of Unravel Me and Ignite Me. I could be wrong, but leave a comment if I am wrong. The next one I read, that even though I've put it for sale twice, I couldn't get rid of it the first time around because I could relate to it in a huge way, but realistically I'm not going to reach for it again. I'm not going to read it again, so for that reason alone I've decided to let it go, and that is The Liars by Jennifer, and I can't pronounce her last name, so I will show you. There we go. So this is The Liars, and this is about a brother and sister who live with their alcoholic mother on the island off the coast. And they make up, Eleanor makes up a family that she babysits their children so she could go out and have a bit of freedom. You don't find that bit out till the end of the story, so if you don't want any spoilers, don't watch. But yeah, I read it and I loved it, and I could relate to it in so many ways. I'm not an alcoholic, but you know, personal family issues. So yeah, in a way I could relate to it kind of like so much, and it did kind of bring back a lot of memories for me. But they both got kind of like not the best happy ending, but they both got to do what they wanted to do, the brother and sister, so that was really good. And I read this in the summer as well because the cover was like kind of like giving me summer vibes, but it was kind of like a dark read. So for that reason, and because I know I won't pick it up again, and even though I do love this book, apologies Jennifer, but it's just because obviously I can relate to it from, you know, my own personal life. So yeah, so I'm gonna let it go, but I did really enjoy it, and I managed to read it in 3 days. So I was reading 100 pages a day, and I think this is, it's over 300. So to read it in 3 days is a bonus. That's the quickest I've ever read a book. The next one I have, well actually, I'll do this one first because this one is so popular in the booktube, and when it came out I think it blew up really quick. But I've read this, and yes, I enjoyed it. But the thing is, even though I read it like a couple of years ago, I don't really remember the plot line now, so it can't be that important to me. It came out in 2014, so this was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. And I've actually read most of, nope, that was Sue something. No, I have read a couple of her other books, and I have got How to Be Bad in the bottom of my wardrobe to read. So I think I read this in like 3 days as well. So this was like a quick read, but obviously now when I look back on it, I can't really remember the plot line, so I don't see the point in keeping it. But I read this in the summer as well because of the summer vibe, so I'm unhauling that one. The next one is I read Close Your Eyes by Nika Cloak. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But I read Close Your Eyes and I absolutely loved that one. So came out with a new one called Toxic, and again read that in the summer. I read this in like 2 days. Let me have a look. 3 days because it's 290. So this was the one I read, and I bought myself a paperback version of it. I borrowed it from the library because I loved it. So yeah, so I read it and I did enjoy it, but looking back on it now, I can't honestly say that I remember the plot line, so I'm going to de-haul this one. Obviously these all have been listed in the Facebook marketplace. The next one I have is Deep Water, and I did read this one. I did read this one in a couple of sittings. I read it in 2, so it would have been 2 days. But it's the same thing with this one. Like when I look back on it, I can't actually remember what the mystery of this whole book is, so for that reason alone I'm going to de-haul it. The cover is beautiful. I did race through this book and I did enjoy it, and that is Deep Water by Lou Hershey. And again, that one is going to be de-hauled just because you know, I enjoyed them while I did read them, but I can't see myself reaching for them again. So these are every single book that I'm going to be selling on the Facebook marketplace and de-hauling. So thank you for watching.